We live in an era where nothing is what it seems. Dark truths are unveiling, but we are going from dark to light. We are awakening. I want to help you to stay positive. Keep your vibration high by using your own inner strength. You can be your radiant self. Use the light and love which you already possess. With 10 Days of Lightness, I want to inspire you to connect with each other just by being. Feed the positive timeline by spreading light in your own neighborhoods. No words needed, just be still. Take a candle, go outside and connect. Yes, welcome to another episode of the 10 Days of Lightness. This is already day 8, and I'm really happy to be here again with a really nice guest. And the purpose of 10 Days of Lightness is to bring some light in these dark days. So please let me know if you can hear me properly. You can do that by leaving a comment in the comment section. We are live at Facebook and YouTube at this moment, and you can be interactive. Just let us know what you feel or what you want to know. And we're going to light a candle. So make sure you have your own candle. I have a virtual candle in the right-hand corner as well. So if you click that, then you can subscribe to my channel. Please do that and leave comments if you like it, and share it with other people who can use some more light in their life. And we are light beings. So just remember that. And that's the whole purpose of why I came to this planet as well, to share and shine my light. And my guest, she's called Tara Love Perry. She's a master soul reader, international spiritual psychic empowerment teacher, and the founder of the I Love You Me method. And that's the same title of her book. So I'm really happy to have her on my show. I'm going to notificate her now, and she will be on screen. Hello, Tara.
Hello, Ava.
Hi.
Hi.
Good to see you. This is the first time we talk to each other.
I know. I've seen you though. I've seen you on your other interviews, and
yes.
You're wonderful.
Oh, thank you very much. And Christiana, our mutual friend, introduced us to each other. And you're burning some
Palo Santo.
Yeah, Palo Santo. It's really nice.
You said light a candle, so I was like, oh yeah, let's smudge everybody.
yeah, let's do that. And do you have a candle as well?
Not handy. No, I did, but it's
now then you burn the Palo Santo.
Smoke.
You smoke all the demons away. Then I'll put the candle, and we make some light. But you are a light being as well, so you have your own light.
Of course, the light's inside, isn't it?
Yes, but we forgot that, aren't we?
Lots of people are forgetting that, definitely. They're looking for the light outside of themselves, and everything's going a bit pear-shaped.
Yeah, I did that as well, I must admit.
Well, sometimes we all do, you know.
Yeah. And
it's okay.
Yeah, and how did you find your own light? Is that something you were remembered from early age, or did you had to go through this mental ego death breakdown period?
I did that as well, but I had a very kind of quite a unique and extraordinary upbringing, really. I was born into a community of devotees to a master called Maharaji, or Guru Maharaji. Oh. Now he's known as Prem Rawat, and he teaches self-knowledge and knowing yourself through the heart. He's been doing that since he was 4 years old, and it was a long time ago. And he's known as an enlightened guru, and he's been he's reached millions and millions of people all around the world. So I grew up in that company, and so even before I was born, my parents were into meditation. They'd become vegetarians. They were very, very switched on, and so I got born into an environment of beautiful people. I mean, all with their own ego and head trip stuff as well. Everybody does, right? It's not like everybody was perfect, but they were aspiring to self-realization, to self-knowledge, to understanding what truth really meant, and that it was within inside of themselves, inside their own heart. And so when I was a little kid, I was just surrounded in this light, in this love. And so for me, it's not something I had to go looking for. I always knew it. It was always there. and I was in an environment where it was encouraged. So
But I
yeah, I was
think
just,
when you became a teenager, maybe you rebelled and you didn't want to know
no, I
anything
didn't.
about F you, the
It
light.
was the it was
No?
the opposite. It was
Okay.
actually the opposite. No, you'd think I would rebel, but there's
Yeah.
nothing to rebel against. How can you rebel against love
I don't know.
and truth? So I know it was the opposite. I was very much, I recognized the master from an early age. And for me, when I was listening to him speaking, because of course in those days video was kind of brand new and very rare. And in fact, I remember watching him on the old film reels that sometimes people would bring to our house. And I would see him in person, and I just wanted to be in his company all the time, even from a very young child. And I have amazing memories because for me, even though I didn't know what he was talking about, I recognized that vibration
Ah,
of
the
truth.
energy. Ah.
It was the energy. So, but what I did do is I started practicing meditation myself at 23. And of course, I had depressions and things in life weren't perfect and the world isn't perfect. And in fact, as probably you know, and many of your viewers, that when you're a star seed or a light being or, you know, whatever words you want to call it, I had an immense difficulty being in this world because what I didn't also realize until I was in my mid to late 20s was just how super empathic and very psychic I was. So I was picking up on a lot of other energies, not realizing that it had nothing to do with me,
Ah.
that I was listening to people's problems in their heads. I was feeling their energy. I was tapping into their soul memories and not really realizing what was going on. So I found it very distressing, and I really didn't want to be on this planet. So
No.
that was how my teenage years went. I just wanted to go back to the light and go into the love and not deal with the heavy shit,
Yes.
So that was a breakthrough that I had around my late 20s, early 30s, when I realized just how attuned I was, had validation for what I was picking up. And so that's when I began crafting the soul reading and doing readings with people and reading their souls. And it led me full circle. It brought me right back round to love is the only answer, love is the only way,
Yeah.
and that truth is within. And then I began crafting a way, very practical method for people to create transformations in part of their lives where they were suffering, clearing the conditioning, helping them to land in their bodies, if you like, to help bring their spirit into this human realm, into this third dimensional, touchy-feely realm, and integrate their spirit in their human form.
Yeah.
And I began teaching people how to do that for themselves. I
Yeah. A
didn't want to
lot.
be the teacher, you know, I didn't want to be the one that people came to. It was like, no, you've got to do it for yourself. It's not something that anyone else can do for you.
Yes. Yeah, that's what my guest yesterday told me. Henk Fransen, he stopped teaching people because, yeah, he's more like people have to do it themselves. And I just show them the way or be the guide. And I think a lot of people lost the connection of feeling. I found it, I'm making my own program. It's called Feel and Surrender. Because that are the two main things I find hard because I always was living in my head and all the masculine kind side of me. So when I was pregnant of my girl, then I drawn into my body. The female side of me were more sparked, and then. But I think it's for a lot of people difficult to really feel. To really feel.
I agree.
Yeah.
Because we feel so much. I think there's not enough validation for children growing up because their parents didn't get it and their parents didn't get it. And
Yeah.
feeling, you know, wasn't something that people had a great deal of experience with. And so unless we're validated for what we're feeling, then we live very solitude realities with it. It's like we shut it down. We're ashamed of it. We don't know how to handle it. We don't know what we're feeling.
Yeah, and
And
we
it's
numb
very
it.
difficult.
Yeah, we numb it as well through food, drinking, smoking,
Yeah, total escapism,
porno.
really,
Yeah.
from who we are, from really how sensitively we've been designed. And it's a gift. We've been designed sensitive for a reason. And it's a unique and incredible power of human
Yes.
beings to be able to do this. And yet, unless we're validated and educated to a certain degree, or give language for our feelings, it's incredibly difficult to bring something deep inside of us outside, and communicate it and interact with others and feel like it's real for a start, and be
Yeah.
able to relate to other people. And that sensitivity and our ability to feel is a super precious thing.
Yeah, it's our navigation system. The way you feel that, but yeah, you have to express it. Like that's why I love children. They just express they're angry or happy or sad or like, "Wah!" And we don't do that anymore as adults.
Exactly. I call that return to innocence.
Okay.
So returning to the inner child, returning to who we are as innate beings.
Yeah.
And that's where we find ourselves, after we've got lost for a period of time out there in the world, searching for who we are and
Yes.
where we belong. And actually we belong with ourselves. We belong in our own feelings. We make a home there.
Yes. And how do you help people then remembering what their mission on Earth is? Why they came here? What's the first step that people can do for themselves?
Well, I've ended up teaching self-love, which is not something I imagined I would do growing up at all. And
No.
writing a book and becoming a speaker and an author and all these things, I never imagined I would do that. But this is what I learned through reading hundreds and hundreds of people's souls and understanding that what can I say? The main motivation, the underlying motivation underneath every single issue, problem, block that we have on any level, mental, emotional, spiritual, physical even, is that we need to feel unconditionally loved.
For ourselves.
Because that's what feels like home.
Yes.
When we're in unconditional love, that's what kind of corrects all of our systems, if you like. That's how we function. That's how we thrive. And so many human beings on this planet don't understand yet what unconditional love is or what it looks like or how to do it.
Yeah.
And so I just direct people back to themselves. And this is what I learned by reading people, is actually how to help plug a person back in instead of looking for it out there. Turn all the senses back this way and plug in this way and connect to the unconditional love that you are, and then start applying it. So as we wish to be loved in all the places we want to be loved in, with the right words, the right touch, the right time, everything, that we learn to give that to ourselves, and it closes the loop.
Yeah.
And it creates a self-sustainable, harmonious system, which is just continuously thriving. So I learned how to do that, and that's what I've been teaching people. And it starts actually with something so simple that almost everybody overlooks it, and that's learning to receive our breath. Really interesting.
Yeah, receive our breath.
Yep. Because, of course, we're very directed externally. We look for what we want outside of ourselves. We look for it from others. Our behavior goes all kinds of crazy, trying to get our need for love met. And we forget that our very first nature is to receive. And how do we know this? Because that's quite a controversial thing to say. Like, people say, no, you're here to give.
Yeah, you have to give. Yeah.
Well, I would ask people, what's the very first thing that you ever did when you were born? What's the very, very first thing that ever happened the moment you were born?
Yeah, I think it's receiving the love from your mother or breastfeeding or I think
even before that. It's even before that.
breath of air. Yeah, your first breath of air. Yes, yeah. Yeah.
Because unless you receive a breath, you don't exist.
Yeah, I had problems myself with breathing in. I find it easier to breathe out. So receiving, I'm a giver as well. So I was out of balance with giving and receiving as well. And I learned that at my tantric soul women's year training. That I found it really hard to take fully in with your breath. And I'm still working on that. But that's really strange because that has to be in balance. So I really think that's
it really does. And it makes sense logically as well, because if you're receiving less and giving more,
then you drain yourself. Yeah, you drain yourself.
Exactly. And then how much can we really give, and what are we giving? It's like trying to run your car on the dregs in the bottom of the fuel tank.
and then
Yeah.
you burning up.
Exactly. And that's the thing. I was a giver too, but I was running on empty, really
Yes.
running on empty. But I wanted to give. And what happened was I realized that what I thought was giving and was good and was helpful actually had all kinds of bits of grit and dirt and yuck in it, because it was literally running from the bottom of the tank. And you know, when you've got a car and you run it empty, all the stuff in the
Yeah.
bottom goes through the
Yeah.
car's
You don't want to
system
give
and
that.
messes it up. Right? But people
Yeah.
don't realize that, and they think I'm giving, give harder, and I will get what I want back. And it just doesn't work like that. And
No.
it's first remembering, it's coming back to that innocence again, coming back to our primordial nature, which is to receive what's being given, receive this breath, receive your own divine spirit that your breath is. It's not anybody else's, it's just a gift for you. So learning to really surrender, like you were saying,
Yeah.
surrender, receive,
Yeah. Feel and surrender. Yeah. But how?
feel.
Yeah. Practical. How do we do it? If you got a little exercise, maybe that the people who are watching can do for themselves.
Sure, absolutely. Well, it's okay. Let's do it together. So first of all, very, very quickly, just relax. Like you can't receive if you're tense and you're full in your mind and you're just, on edge and full. So it's like, okay, just relax. Soften the top of the head, soften all the way down the back of the head, the back of the neck, the spine, and let your weight drop you down into your seat, down into your bottom. Just and prepare yourself to receive by softening this head where we're always busy and thinking and trying. And you just soften the top of the head. And you start to soften your face and let all your senses soften. And you just gently soften the cheekbones and the jaw and the mouth. And I really encourage people to receive their breath, even for a short while, through an open mouth. Because what we don't realize is when we're doing this, take a deep breath, we're actually tensing the throat. Dropping the awareness down, softening the throat, softening the mouth. Just being like a little kid, completely open. And just gently feel the breath coming in through the mouth, gently rippling across your tongue. And you can feel the soft, very soft, powerful touch of your breath coming down your throat, starting to come into the chest, into your heart, allowing your heart to beat. And you can soften every single time on the out breath, like, just give up trying.
Yeah, people are afraid to make sounds.
They are, but the thing is, you're designed to make sound. It's who you are. And it's like, just give yourself
Not
permission,
only
like
when you're
every
eating
sigh.
something nice. Yeah.
We all like to
Yeah.
go, it's like at the end of the day when no one's watching.
That's
Soften the
also
back of the
divine.
neck.
Yeah.
Yeah. It is. It's like drinking a beautiful nectar of your spirit, and you can feel it. And we are literally kissed into life every single moment. Like, just feel that kiss. Let it come down, let it come in. And any parts of you where you feel like you haven't got enough, you're not enough, you need more, you're longing, you're empty, you're sad, whatever you're feeling,
Yes.
allowing the breath to trickle in like a beautiful waterfall of unconditional love, and soften and surrender and receive it into your belly. And I encourage people put their hands on their body too and really connect with your touch. Feel yourself softening, feel yourself receiving. Softening the jaw, softening the throat. And then I also encourage people to say some words out loud to themselves. And if you're alone and no one's listening, go ahead. And even if people are listening, who cares? And just say out loud to yourself, hello me. And say it in your own language.
Hello, me.
Hello me.
And it's a
Hello
bit strange
me.
to say hello, me. Yeah.
Yeah, well, we talk to everybody else, but if we
Yeah,
want to make a connection with ourselves and find ourselves, then we better start having a
that's
communication.
true.
So it's like,
How am I
and
doing?
it, and it also helps the receiving, because now can you receive your own words? You know,
Yes.
if you said to someone, hello,
Yeah.
and they ignore you and the words just hang in the air and then fall on the floor somewhere, and you're like, oh, I'm not received, or they don't like me.
Yeah.
You know, we do that to ourselves, right? So we receive our own words. Hello,
Yeah.
me. Breathe them in, let them in. Words are very, very powerful keys.
Hi, beautiful.
Yeah, hello, beautiful me. And I encourage you, say this: thank you for being here, me.
Yeah. Thank you for being here. Thank you for listening.
Yeah. Thank you for being in this body right now.
And thank you for taking the time for me.
Ah, yeah. And you can even say, if it feels nice, I've got you, me. I feel you. I feel you.
Yeah. In the beginning, it maybe not feel the same as the cookie jar eating, the same feeling. But this is better self-love than filling your mouth.
Well, the thing is, if you want to start somewhere and you want to receive more love, more wealth, more happiness, more prosperity, more whatever, fill in the blank, and you can't even receive your own breath,
Yeah.
you got a problem.
It starts there.
It really does. And it's so profound and simple that it gets overlooked.
Yeah.
Because we're so mindy, we think, okay, I'm going to love myself, or I'm going to heal myself, or I'm going to get more light in my life. But we're thinking about it from a mental perspective rather than just dropping into where the love is and where the light is and where we actually are.
Yeah.
It's so simple and so amazingly powerful.
Yeah.
And trust me, and actually I have this available on my website if people want to go and get a recorded version and practice,
Okay, I'll share the link.
away from this. Yeah.
And where you is it? Yeah, I Love Me, or that's the book, the training, Self Love Club. Where it is on the?
Yeah, it's on iloveyoume.love, the website, but that's
Oh,
up
it's the other
for
website.
that's also being a little bit developed at the moment, and it's also on to just go to taraloveperry.com.
Yeah, but I'll share the link and people can get it. Oh no, this is a Chinese site I have now. Sorry.
That's not mine. It's not in Chinese yet.
I'll just share the other link
Yeah,
and then people can find it as well.
yeah, just go to taraloveperry.com.
Yes.
It's easy. It's right there.
So light, what does light mean to you? Because when we had this little conversation on the WhatsApp, then you told me I'm going to talk about the dark or something you told me.
Well, first of all, I just want to congratulate you, because we've all been hearing about 10 days of darkness, and here you are saying 10 days of
Yeah,
light.
yeah,
And I
that's
absolutely loved it, and
brilliant.
it gave me tingles, and I was like, that's a
Yeah,
really cool thing
yeah,
to
because
do.
everybody
So
was waiting for the 10 days of darkness. I thought, why wait for that? Just make our own agenda.
yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Be the creator of your life.
Yes.
Exactly. Well, actually, my beautiful friend Christiane Van Wyk, she was speaking a couple of days ago with you, and I was listening, and she said the same thing that I'm going to say, that to me, light is absolute love. It's the same quality, it's the same vibration, it is absolute love. And of course, we have different frequencies of light, different colors of light, different densities of light, even. And yet, in that real light, the real, true light, it is absolutely the primordial vibration, the divine creator source of unconditional love. And for me, that unconditional love is the fabric of everything in this universe. And it's even the fabric of darkness.
Yeah, that because I was listening to a meditation yesterday, and then we go to the dark universe. And as a child, I saw myself in the dark universe, and I was afraid of the dark as a child. And I don't really like the dark, but we came from the dark, and we are grown in the dark, like in the womb. So the
Exactly.
dark must be unconditionally love as well.
Absolutely, it is. I used to be afraid of the dark too, and I used to test myself. And I remember one night I decided to stay out all night, and I lived next to this woodland, and I had a little fire, and I was going to stay out all night in the dark by myself in this woodland. And I was really scared, and I started talking to source, to spirit. And I was told, that the dark is not really dark at all, but the darkness is waiting for us to recognize the truth of it, which is that it's that unconditional love waiting for us to find it where we think it isn't. So if that makes sense, and it's waiting for us to find ourselves where we haven't yet looked. So if we don't go to the darkness because we think it's dark and scary and all the stay out signs are all there and all the fear and everything that bars us from going anywhere near anything that we consider dark, it's like that's a head thing, you know. But when you in your heart and you're trusting your heart, you can love absolutely anything. And when you go into that darkness and you open up to experience what it really is, all you will feel is absolutely unconditionally loved and held, just like you were saying, being in the mother's womb. And it's absolutely incredible. And you realize this isn't dark at all. Because the moment you awaken and you realize and your own light starts shining, it's not dark anymore.
That's true. Yeah.
It's not dark. And that the actual very particles of darkness itself, this is what I learned doing soul reading. So I'm tapping into everybody's soul libraries. And of course, everybody's soul libraries are part of a much bigger universal library. So you can start reading all kinds of really cool things and talking to Source and seeing about how we were created, going back to the beginning. And what I was shown is that in the beginning, there was only light, the most incredible absolute light. And light said, I want to know myself fully through everything that I am and through everything that I'm not, so that we can have that perspective. And so the light decided to create duality. And this is in this known universe. Outside of this known universe, I don't know. But I know inside of this universe that we are aware of, that we know, that Source said, I am going to know everything, including all that which I am not, so that I can fully know myself. Because if you're a singular being and all you are is light and you're a oneness consciousness, how can you know yourself? Because it's one-dimensional almost, it's singular. And so to know ourselves, or for Source to know itself, it wanted to create a relationship, an other. And so that it could experience everything in between, it created the exact opposite of itself, darkness.
Yes.
So that there was the full spectrum by which Source could know itself in everything. And so we were created. And I saw this light expanding and expanding and expanding itself so much that through that expansion, a resistance was created, a resistance to its own expansion. Almost like if you were to do this, right, it looks a bit like this. So if you get your hands out in front of you and you start expanding and expanding and you open your arms as wide as you can, as wide as you can, as wide as you can. And then you start to feel that resistance in the back between your two arms at the back. It's like that resistance to be able to close your arms. It's like there's a pressure starts to build up, even in the air or even in the energy field around you. And so Source was like, through this resistance, I can manifest. So if we think about that in our terms, that which we resist, actually, once we meet what we're resisting, it propels us forward to aspire and search and develop and grow and expand.
Yes.
And so that force of resistance, it can be a block to something, but once we meet it, it actually kind of propels us forward even more, if you like. Does that make sense?
Yeah. I'm thinking about a situation in my life that you resist something, or you're irritated by someone's characteristic of behavior, but then it's an invitation, I think, to that's the thing you're lacking or want to learn. Or is that what you mean?
Yeah, on a practical, like how we can understand it, but on a metaphysical level, it also means that when you condense light and there's pressure and there's resistance involved, it's like you can take light and squash it. Huge amount of pressure, huge amount of resistant force acting upon that light to compress it into such a density that you can create matter.
Oh, yeah. Yeah,
right?
yesterday I
And
saw a documentary as well about matter, and it's mind blowing to understand all the
right, it
yeah
is, right?
yeah
And so inside every single, we know that when we go to into the atom and we split the atom, the power inside of that
yeah
atom is astronomical, and there's so much light in there. But
yes
in fact, in the heart of every single particle, and the smallest particles, I believe, and someone correct me if I'm wrong, is that's recognized by scientists is the adamantine particle, and that's which everything is made from, and it is absolute pure photonic light. It's the same vibration as absolute unconditional love, and that's the scientific version, if you like, that scientists now understand. So it's like, and Albert Einstein said it, you know, unconditional love, it's the greatest force, it's the only true force in this whole universe.
yeah
So that's who we are, that's what we're made of.
yes. And then we have the free will, what's it's also really important because when people are afraid of the whole situation going on in the world right now.
Well, a lot of it's an illusion. It's as if, you know, we signed up, and this is maybe a little bit too out there for people. I don't know.
No, you
I'm going to
not for me, not
say
for
what's
me.
coming to me, but no, it's been. Well, you said it earlier. We have the power to create our own reality. You can wait for your 10 days of darkness, or be in darkness
Yes.
in that. And I don't mean as in true darkness. I mean in your own fog, in your own blinkeredness, or your own, you know, shut down unconscious experience. Or you can choose to be conscious, like you're saying, with your free will, and you can create, and you can dance, and you can play, and you can make love, and you can breathe, and you can whatever you want to do. We have that choice. So if we all, as a human collective, made a choice, which I believe we did, I know that we did, in our soul, we chose to incarnate into our human physical bodies at a certain time, on a certain point in the planet, to certain parents, to certain cultures, in everything. We chose to be here at this time right now.
Yes.
And it's as if almost we're in a simulation. You know, if you want to learn how to fly an airplane, and they won't let you get into a plane and start to play with the sticks and the gears and the buttons until you've actually been in a simulation pod and you know, it's an isolated, protected experience so that you don't crash and kill everybody. You're just in that protective pod, learning the ropes of how to fly, right? So when you get good, then you can leave the pod, and then you can go out into normal reality and fly the plane. Let's just go with that.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
what if we are in a collective virtual experience?
Mm-hmm.
We are quarantined. We are isolated on this planet. Well, we get told that we're isolated on this planet. It's you know, we don't experience interference from outside of our planet, not many of us anyway, just it's an isolated experience. And what if we're all in a simulation that seems very real, and you can feel it and touch it and smell it and taste it, so that we learn to fly our own being, we learn to fly who we are.
Yes.
And once we do, you step outside of the simulation and you go into the actual reality
Then we can
that
go
not
to the
many,
next level. Yay.
right, that maybe not many people are aware of that exists. They'll be like, no, it only exists inside this reality. This
Yes.
simulation pod is reality. I've got so used to being in here trying to
Yes.
fly this damn plane. This is the reality, you know. And it's like, okay, well, you won't know until you master yourself, realize yourself, learn to be who you are, surrender, understand, feel, expand. Then you can step out of the simulation. Then you're in reality. And it's a whole different world than what you think it is, you know, in that reality. That's my experience. All I can do is share that with people.
Yeah, that sounds great, and yeah, I can feel that, and it's a bit like the movie The Matrix, of course, and
It
it's
is a bit
really,
like that.
yeah, really scary that they want us in virtual reality right now, because then you got a game in a game. I think
Right?
the simulation in the simulation. So
Right. And it gets really trippy and really heady.
yeah,
And of course, the more we don't understand what's going on, the more scared we become. And when we're in fear, we are definitely a prisoner of our own simulation. And we don't realize that we're the ones giving
we've been waiting
permission.
for. Yeah.
We're giving permission for this simulation. We're still agreeing to participate in a simulation unconsciously. Almost blame. It's easier to blame everybody else, but it doesn't change a damn thing. And you will be back in this simulation again and again and again until you get it, until you actually get it. And you wake up and you know who you are. And then you can leave the simulation and you understand what real reality is all about. And it is a reality of absolute unconditional love. It's incredible.
Yes. So we came to this earth to experience this situation. We are in a simulation and we have the choice to stop this simulation just by making the choice.
Yeah.
Yes.
And you want to put it simply, choose fear or choose love.
Yes. Yeah.
Choose to give your power away or choose to give it back to yourself and empower yourself and know who you are. It's kind of simple when you put it that way.
Yeah. But how many people have to think and feel this before we have the tipping point, or how do you see that?
I don't know about a tipping point. There's lots of different theories on that. And to be honest, in the world that I live in, and this has been throughout my entire life, it's not a new thing for me, is that I know for a certainty that on one level of reality, everything is absolutely beautiful and perfect. And that's hard for people to understand when they're going, yeah, but what about this and what about that? And I'm like, okay, well, what about that? Actually, look around you. Something else is actually real too. And so I've always known that in my lifetime, I would see a lot of human beings, millions and millions and millions of human beings waking up, realizing who they are, and there being more light on this planet, being more love on this planet, and having more people really open to that real reality.
Yeah.
And I've always known that. So for me, it's a done deal. The rest of it is just, it's like sitting in a movie, watching an incredible movie and maybe getting involved and yelling at the screen and then jumping when it's scary and, and forgetting that you're in a movie.
Yeah.
But it's like, you can leave the movie theater at any time.
Yeah.
You don't have to sit there putting yourself through that.
Yes.
Or you can also go, well, this is a fun show. Like when you watch a horror film in the cinema, you go because you enjoy it for some weird reason.
Yeah.
I
don't understand that,
it's
but
not
yeah,
me neither. But it's not real.
And Tara, did you
right?
see the blueprints Christiana von Wijk made, the film, The Blueprints?
Absolutely, I
Do
did,
you think that's
definitely.
a bit, the way it's going to be, that there will be two worlds on the same planet, and that's, I found it a great concept by raising your vibration. I thought about the inner earth as well. And how can we get there? Because that's fifth until 12 dimensions. The whales and dolphins can go there. They say, I don't know for sure. I've never been there.
Yeah, I think the doorway to everything that you want to get to is within us. So I've experienced what maybe people call inner earth, and I experience it by bringing my consciousness into my matter, into the particles of my matter. And it's like going deep inside, and then another reality opens. So it's, for me, everything harmonizes. The realities expand, my perception expands. I see more, feel more, hear more externally as well, and connect with higher dimensional beings or all kinds of things. But the doorway to that is through me. It's through consciousness of understanding, opening the doors inside of myself to know that which I am, clearing that resistance. And then it's like I'm a frequency match, if you like, for that which I want to meet in a reality. Does that make sense?
Yeah. For me, it does make sense. Maybe people watching are like, "What?" But
what?
yeah. Everything. Your reality. You create your own reality, I think, and your own vibration. Yeah. Then there will be a match to what you send out. So I think that's for
well,
others.
if you imagine it like this, if you imagine it like steps, okay. Let's say there's a big step like this, big step, and you're down here. And this is your vibration, and somebody else is on the step up here, and they're saying, hey, I'm in this lovely reality, and they're going, but I can't see it. Where is it? Where is it? All I can see is this wall in front of me, this block. I can't see it. It doesn't exist. It's not real. Or maybe they'll start to turn in on themselves and go, there's something wrong with me, I'm not good enough, blah, 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 and just descend into one's own inner, head matrix. Or you can just go, okay, there's a step. And if I take that step up in myself, or that step up inside myself, I'll be on another level where then I can experience where this other person is, or what this level of reality is. But you have to be on the same level to experience it.
Yes,
You can't
yeah.
experience it like this.
A lot of people
So,
have this in maybe in relationships at the moment, that the difference in the vibration because of this strange situation we are in. And you never grow at the same pace. So then you get disconnected. Have you got tips for that situation when partners disconnect?
well, I actually was in that situation some years ago. I had a partner and we kept trying to be in relationship with one another, but we just couldn't meet each other on the same page. I wanted certain things, he wanted certain things, and we kept clashing. But the trouble was, I didn't realize that what I needed to get wasn't from him. And I kept thinking, if I change him, or if I love him this way, or if he's going to change, and then he'll be what I want. And it's actually not that way at all. I had to leave the poor guy alone, let him get on with his own life and his own business, and stop making, it my business what he should be doing, and really reflect on myself and go, hold on, this is a mirror for me. This is me. The block that I have, the unhappiness that I have, is because of something inside of me where I'm not meeting myself. I'm not loving myself. I'm trying to demand something of somebody else. And so after I obviously did some self-love on that and did my I love you me method on it, everything totally changed. And what happened was, he went and lived his life. And funnily enough, in his own growth, he come to a certain place and I'd come to a certain place where we actually were ready to receive each other. Because it was about receiving. I was too scared or not trusting to receive what he wanted to give me, and he wasn't trusting me and receiving what I wanted to give him. So it came down to being able to receive and trust. And so I think I'm sharing this because I think this is relevant for a lot of people. We're trying to get recognition, validation, connection of some kind, mutual agreements or something from people around us. But everyone has their own journey. And what if we just leave them alone, wish them well, give them love, stop judging everybody, what we think they are and the problems that we think they're causing, and go, hold on a minute, if there's a problem here and I'm not happy, that's a me job. That's a me issue. I need to love me. I need to give myself what I'm trying to get from this other person.
Yes.
And you can get support and help and, have advice and meet communities similar to yourself, and have a space, a safe space where you can grow with like-minded people, because they're everywhere. And just be concerned with our own business. And if we're afraid, then why? What are we resisting? What are we using fear as a barrier towards, really, instead of just going into meeting our fear, bringing our own light into that darkness of our minds and our fears and the unknown, and just go, oh, now I can see because I've brought my light, and then it's not dark anymore and there's no fear anymore. And then we can just, let people have their own business and get on with it.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah.
Everyone's got their own time. It's like you can't force a flower to open if it's not time. And everybody's like a little flower and they open at their own time, and just shine light on them. Be the sun. They'll open in a much more beautiful way than if you're trying to yank them out of the ground. Pull open up your mind and try to pull their petals apart. Like, leave them alone. Just shine light on them. Shine your love.
Yes.
And everything starts to look a lot easier and a lot more beautiful.
Yeah. Really beautiful said, Tara. And
Thanks.
I love the way you developed yourself, and that you even have love in your name, and you've got the angel wings. Have you always be that confident to show yourself, to step up, stand in the light? No.
not at all. I was the weirdest kid in school. My parents were meditating, long-haired hippies,
Oh yeah.
and we were vegetarian. And this is back in the 70s when nobody else was
No.
like that. And we didn't even have furniture in our house. We had cushions on the
No.
floor. And, you know, so I was the weirdo, and I didn't have any confidence at all, like zilch. Had a very low self-esteem. And then we had a lot of poverty. It was very beautiful energy and lots of love, but still there was human issues, and still there was relationship issues, and still there was money issues. And so I grew up with a lot of insecurity. And it was
Brothers and
literally,
sisters as well, brothers and sisters.
I got two brothers. Yeah, got two brothers. No, we were all the weirdos in our family. My parents were the black sheep of their families, and they'd run away from Northern Ireland and Belfast during the Troubles in the 60s, and, went off and found a guru. Their parents disowned them for quite some time. So we're a whole family of oddballs. But, now I'm not so different. I used to grow up and be super different. And I was very insular. I was very quiet. I'd like to meditate a lot. I did my own thing. And I was very psychic, and I was seeing things all over the place and didn't understand it. And it was really crazy. So I felt very alone and very unconfident. But it was actually through using this gift that I have to read other people that actually validated me and made me realize just what gifts I have. And also that's how the I Love You Me method was developed, because through reading other people, I could see what they needed, even just watching their breath and the energy of their spirit coming into their body and where it wasn't, and all the blood. I could just see everything. It's crazy how much I could see. And then I was just, watching, developing this method over a few years, and then seeing when everything tied up and when everything went back into harmony. And so there's these kind of 7 steps or keys. They're really like keys to applying to yourself to harmonize everything, to bring yourself back to your original design, really. And so it was through practicing that myself, that taking my own medicine, that I got this transformation, and I got the results in my life that I have now. So it was really amazing that I was given that incredible gift, and it's really a blessing that I watch other people experience the same transformation and liberation that I did. It's wonderful.
Yeah, that's what I want to share, especially with women, that it's safe to shine your light, to step on stage, to be your fully yourself, to be feminine, to shine. Just get all the attention. That's a lot. That's what some, and maybe I will call my show the Ava Show in the future, because then it's totally my show, and I called Miss Natural Talk Show. But a lot of people find, no, you don't pull all the attention on yourself. You can do that, but I think
you can do whatever you want.
Yeah, but you must, and if you don't do it, you must love yourself, and that's really.
And it's funny though. It's funny, like a lot of people, I think, kind of confuse love, and they think it's about your ego.
Yeah.
Now, I just want to say, your ego needs love too.
Yes.
If you don't love your ego, and it's this poor, battered little sniveling, hobbling thing that crawls along the floor, like mine was, right? There was all this love, but I was like, not me. I didn't include myself in that. And so part of this self-love, it's real, genuine, unconditional love, and loving every single part of yourself. And if you're a stage person and a performer person, that's what you've designed to do. You must go out and do that, because that's when your heart will sing.
Yeah, I love
That's when you'll be fulfilled. And
Yeah.
that's where your soul expands, and all the rest of the gifts. Because once you receive one gift, guess what? The universe says it's time to open up some more then. Happy birthday. So here's another birthday you gift, another gift of you. If you don't start receiving, you're not going to get the rest.
No. I was just today collecting some dance pictures of me. I do Brazilian samba. I did burlesque, belly dancing. And then with all the protests, I made wings of the Dutch flag and with the light wings. And then I thought, I really love this. And being on stage, being to perform, I get so much energy from doing that.
Oh, you have to do that. You know,
Yeah.
you're reminding me, there was this wonderful girl. She came to one of my, when I was doing live weekend workshop events, she came and she's a singer. She was about 28 at the time. She is a singer and she loved performing. She loved being seen and she loved being out on stage. And she was amazing, amazing singer. But the problem was that she was dying because she'd got a cancer tumor
Oh.
growing in her chest. So it took her, I mean, she went through a big journey of loads of chemotherapy, I mean, years of it. And the tumor just kept on growing. And even when she was almost on her deathbed dying of cancer, she was still singing and singing and singing because she loved the attention. She's designed for the limelight, but also she was trying to get that love and that recognition through her singing to validate who she is as a human being inside. And there was a disconnect going on. And what she realized when she came to my event was that she wasn't loving herself deep in here, and that's where the tumor was growing.
Ah.
So she learned I Love You Me. She did one of my courses and she learned I Love You Me. And she was talking just like I was sharing with people, breathing, talking, starting to connect all of her senses and feeling, really feeling this dark, horrible cancer that was growing in her chest. And she met the cancer and she talked to it. And she did the 7 steps and said, I love you to her cancer. And guess what? Within literally a few months, it was gone.
Oh, really?
Completely gone. And she realized, I remember she came and she stood on stage at one of my events and she said, you know, I'm so used to being on stage. I'm so used to singing and I love it. But I'm actually terrified right now, just standing here just being me, talking to you about something real, something vulnerable that had happened to her. And actually, her life completely changed after that. She ended up having a baby, meeting the love of her life, and she's got record deals and contracts and everything. And her whole life has blown up into this most amazing experience. But it was like that love for herself first, and then everything she wanted. And she was able to have the attention, but she was also not attached to it because she'd loved herself. You know what I mean?
Yes, yeah,
Super. She's an amazing woman.
Yes. Yeah, I had this experience before. After the birth of my daughter, then I did this year training, soul women coach, tantra training, and I didn't felt being seen, and I was on the cover of my own magazine, and then I discovered that I didn't feel seen myself.
Wow.
And so that was, then I made a connection, just to see myself. And I put up my cover. It was like so all women could put themselves up to be the winner of the cover of my magazine. So I gave the stage away to someone else for one time, of course. Next time it was my cover again. No, but just the transformation. So I really recognized it, and luckily
amazing.
I did. I think a lot of people, will recognize this. That you are looking for validation outside yourself, and to be seen and to be heard, but you have to hear and see yourself first.
Absolutely, you totally said it exactly right. And then after that, of course, you can be seen. You know, we need to be seen and heard. Otherwise, we may as well not exist. You may as well be invisible and, not exist. It's an actual need. If you're going to be in a human body, you need people to see you and communicate with you and validate that you exist.
And bring fun and playful and
absolutely. It's super important. So it's not like an or, it's an and. Just you have both, but you get it here first, and then your cup is full, and then you overflow, and then you got even more of your amazing, whatever your talents are, your beauty, your light, your love, your music, your whatever it is that you're doing, actually just expands exponentially.
Yes. Keep on expanding. And what's your next expanding thing will be in 2021?
Well, I've actually just, I've been trialing something I call the Selflove Club. That's been trialing for a year, and I'm about to officially launch that on February the 14th. You're the first person I've told this publicly to. I'm going to do that because I've been working on it, and it's super good. And I'm also training.
Valentine's Day, yes.
On Valentine's Day, so you can give yourself self-love on Valentine's Day and set everything straight. And I'm also training a new batch of I Love You Me self-love coaches. And that training starts in April for anybody who likes to do
Yeah.
self-love for a living and love people
Do
for a living.
self-love for a living. That sounds amazing.
It's very cool.
What do you do? I
coach
do
people
self-love for a living.
Yeah. I love people and get paid. Oh, nice.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah. Yeah, that kind of people can still work in these crazy times.
You know what? There's loads of work because everybody needs it and it can all be done online. And it's just like, yeah, the world is your oyster. I mean, there's so much playground to play in there.
Yeah, and I'm going to launch something on February 14th as well on Valentine's Day. Did you know I'm launching 5ddating.com?
No way. That sounds
Yes,
awesome. What is it?
5D
What is
dating.
it?
What is it? It's a dating community. So this is the card I made. This is the logo.
Oh, that's
The
gorgeous.
sun
The
and the
sun and the
moon.
moon. Nice.
Yes, because a lot of people lost a lot of people in 2020, and I built this platform where you can find like-minded people. So people who are seeing what you and I are seeing, that we are in this game
Gosh, you're
reality.
clever.
Yeah,
You can
so
do a lot of things, a magazine and a talk show and a
I
dating
quit the
site.
magazine 2 years ago because now I focus on the talk shows. But yeah,
That's so clever.
I'm really creative. I love to expand and create, and that's also my problem, focus. But I try to. But
No,
no,
I disagree. You know what? If you're the creator and
yes,
you've
I
got
am.
these amazing ideas, you just need a lot of people running around in your team helping and
Yes,
doing all the nuts
that's
and
my
bolts
next.
part.
Yeah, so if people are watching, I need people in my team. Especially a cameraman. So for my the Feel and Surrender program, that's my inner journey program. I need
Wow.
that, and yes, but the 5D dating, it's for the awake people, the conscious soul, the rainbow warriors, the light workers, the earth angels. How do you call yourself? And then
All of
it's a
those.
safe place to connect and even find love, maybe your soulmate or your twin flame.
Yay!
Yes.
Oh, that sounds amazing. I wish you all the best with that. I'll share it with my
Yeah.
community.
You already have your twin flame or soulmate?
I do indeed. We were backwards and forwards like yo-yos for 10 years.
Ah,
And then I mean, I wrote the book for him. I literally wrote the I Love You Me book so
yeah.
that he could read it and love himself and forgive himself, and
Ah.
then he would be a good boyfriend. And then but he didn't read it.
That's
You
really
know what
funny.
we're like as women? We're like, here, man, boyfriend, partner, husband, read this, and everything will be much better. Just read this book. So I wrote that.
I'm going to order it.
I wrote, give it to your partners for Valentine's Day. That's
Yeah.
a good idea. And read it with them. No, I know couples that read it together, and it's really beautiful. It's perfect for that. No, but I wrote it for him, and then and it was still on my laptop. I hadn't printed it at that point. I went back in to finish it and put structure in and everything. And as I was finishing it, I'd reread everything, and I reread it all and went, oh my goodness, this is about me. I have to, because it wasn't called I Love You Me then. I had a different title, and I was like, oh my
yes.
God, this is about me. I need to do this myself. So it was only through that self-love. And then literally, we hadn't spoken in a year and a half. We ended up speaking last summer. And this is how I ended up moving to the south of France and living in this incredibly beautiful villa with him. And we are honestly the happiest, most in love ever. It's everything I always wanted. And it's, the same for him. So we managed to meet each other and come back after all that time, even when I thought it was so over, like proper, done, dusted, finished, never again, ever, It was like, no, it was like we were still connected, even though we didn't see or speak to each other. Every single day, it was like I could feel him, he could feel me. We were connected, telepathically. And it was just one of those things. You just couldn't let go of each other. Life didn't make sense. It was good, but it didn't quite make sense. There was
And the secret is love yourself first, but then both as partners as well before you can love one another.
Absolutely. Then you're ready to give and receive love, and you know how to do it.
Yes. So then we can ask that question on the dating side. Do you love yourself?
Good question.
Yeah, that's the first question.
Well, a lot of people think that they do, so it's like you need to dig a little bit deeper to really find out. But yeah, I mean,
Did you read
it's
the
an
book
ongoing
Terry
thing.
Love Perry? And did you do the 7 steps? Then you can answer the side.
Oh,
No.
that's funny.
Yes.
No, of course not. No, but honestly, it's self-love is, it's a never-ending journey. I don't think I'm ever going to get to the end and go, that's it, I've done it. There's no part of me I don't love, because there's
No.
always
There
another
will be
door
some.
opening. There's always another expansion, and love is infinite. So whoever wants to stop learning about love,
Yes.
it's wonderful. It's the best thing to learn about.
I think we close with that beautiful sentence. And because it's 60 minutes already, you have another appointment.
I do. This was wonderful. Thank you for having me.
Yeah, we can do it maybe another time, or maybe on Instagram. I think you are also on Instagram. We can do a live there sometime. Maybe that's
Yeah.
nice.
Yeah.
It's a
I'll
whole
get you on my
different
show
audience.
too.
Yeah.
Nice.
Okay, I'll wish you all the love and light for your beautiful week and the February launch of your You Love Me
Thank you so much.
community.
I love you, me. Look, it's
It's there. Love
it's on the
you.
banner. This is a stage banner. Loads of love to everybody who's watching. Loads of love to you, Ava. Thank you so much for having me and listening.
Yes, thank you. I'll leave everybody with my little clip and then see you next time. Bye-bye, Tara.
Bye.
Bye. And everybody, thanks for watching. Please lit the virtual candle. Then you can subscribe to my channel and share the video with anyone who wants to know how to love themselves. I love me and I love you. I'll see you next time tomorrow. We've got a nice guest as well, Roy Martina. He's an holistic doctor. If you like this episode, make sure to subscribe and feel free to support with a donation. Eva van Zeeland is a truth seeker, activist and talk show host from the Netherlands and loves to dance through life. Her main mission is to help with the Great Awakening and show you how to live from your heart and have a carefree, playful and exciting life. Please help humanity by sharing this video. We are all in this together. Stay in your high vibe, energetic state and see you next time.